Hello again, everyone. We're now on the 22nd day of 30 Days to Happiness. 30 days where you will learn to create happiness, to be in charge of your life and your emotions. What greater gift can you give to yourself than learning the tricks of happiness? And that's what they are. They're a mental attitude, they're a way of looking at life that doesn't make you necessarily a cockeyed optimist or a Pollyanna, but makes you able to see both sides of a situation so that you can see the good in it and look for the good, you find it. And if you find it, you can make it, you can change the whole situation. So, for example, if you're in a confrontation with someone and you decide to take a slow, deep breath and call upon your angels to resolve that conflict with peace and harmony and love and compassion. If you take a moment to change your mind from anger and trying to defend yourself against something that you are feeling is wrongly done, if you take a deep breath and you change your attitude instead of being defensive to being open and receptive to what the person is saying, no matter if they're right or wrong, doesn't matter. But you can really hear them so you can address their concerns. And in turn, you take care of the situation. It's a shift in energy. And that's what these 30 days are about. They're, each one brings you a new idea of how to be happy. And today's is fun. It says, today I will focus on creating beauty in my life. I will look around my home and search out and eliminate dirt, dust, and disharmony. I remove I will remove everything that is no longer needed for the comfort and beauty within my home. I will rearrange my knickknacks, putting away any that clutter or stop the flow of sweet energy within my home. I will look at the environment surrounding my home, and wherever I can increase beauty, such as with plants and flowers, I will do so. I will look at my workspace and increase good energy with clear quartz crystals, fresh or silk flowers, live plants, and happy words. Now, if you're living with somebody who's a total grump, then you have a very difficult time to try and change the energy in the house. And I'm even suggesting that you put a quartz crystal between the mattresses, or if you could put it underneath a pillow, it'd be even better, or even put it on the bedside table, the nightside table, with the points pointing toward the person. Now, you program it first. So here's how you do that. A clear quartz crystal, I wish I had one to show you right now, but it has 6 points at one end, and usually just it's cut off at the other. It's taken from the quartz bed. And when you put it in salt water, sea salt preferably, but it doesn't matter, salt water, in a not a plastic bowl, but not a crystal bowl either, and let it sit there in that sea salt water overnight with the intent, because your intent is what makes the energy move. Your intention is to cleanse the quartz crystal of any other energy that has been attached to it previously. And so you do that overnight, and then you wash it off with soap and water, and then you can hold that crystal when you're trying to meditate, and it will give you additional power. Now, if you know the history of crystals, that's how radios were first learning how to send the words in the radio over the airwaves, was using clear quartz crystals. And so it does have power to magnify a thought or an idea and so a healing is what you're asking for. And so use that clear quartz crystal to help you to be happy each day. Sometimes people have them on pendants, but the little tiny ones don't have as much power as a bigger one. That's, it's about that big, and at least that. Now, there are some that they can be this big and they can be quite powerful, but they're very expensive. And I'm not asking you to spend money in this pandemic. I'm just saying that you can probably order that quartz crystal online and it'll come to you without having to leave your home. But that's one of the things that empowers you to take the intent you have in mind and bring it forth into a physical reality. And so that's one of the things you can do to put beauty in your home. And amethyst is another crystal that is very, very full of lovely energy that will help you to be spiritually minded, to think, to raise your consciousness into the spirit realm, and to be able to hear your angels and guides. So I recommend those two. Well, there's a third one. The third one is rose quartz. And behind me, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can turn. Yes, there it is. Well, let's turn over this way because that was a salt. This is a quartz crystal right here. Excuse me, a rose quartz. It's pink in color. This one is kind of faded, but it's pink in color. And that will help you to have peace and harmony in your home. So do look forward to that. And other things that you can do is put beautiful pictures on your wall. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. You can find things probably that you put away in the attic that could bring more beauty into your home. But the point is how it pleases you, how it makes you feel. And especially live plants are so much good, have so much good energy for your home that we really encourage you to have at least one indoor plant. Now I use philodendrons, which can stand indoors. And since I'm not a very good plant person, they can survive me who can forget them sometimes. And so philodendrons are found anywhere at Kmart's, or excuse me, Walmart's. Kmart's isn't there, they exist anymore. At Walmart's and other living plants. So that gives a lot of good energy and helps to clean the air. So if you don't have those to make beauty in your home, that's an investment worth making. And they're not that expensive. You can get little ones and they do just as well. But the other things are that you have collected pretty things over your lifetime. Bring those pretty things out, tablecloths, or use napkins and placemats on your table instead of just throwing it on the table. Look for beauty and how you can make it feel better for you. If you have other family members, don't even think about making it feel better for them. They probably won't even notice it. But this is why we're saying there are ways that you can do that. And I have to admit, this blouse that I'm wearing, I got at a used clothing store. When I knew I was going to do these videos, I went there and bought a whole bunch of blouses for $4 and $5 because they make me feel good. This pretty part on here is something that makes me feel good. And therefore, that raises my energy to be able to smile at you today, no matter what's going on in my life, and to tell you to smile no matter what's going on in your life. No, it is your choice. Let's say that again. You have free will, and it is your choice of how you are going to look at this day and how you are going to feel this day. Every moment of the day, every moment, you are making a choice to be happy or not. It's your free will. And if somebody comes barreling into your life with a whole barrel full of negativity, it's your choice how you're going to react to that. Now, you have all kinds of decisions that you can make. You can smile at that person and say, "Are you having a good day?" And of course, they're going to say, "What do you mean? Of course, can't you tell I'm not having a good day?" And then you say, "Well, change your mind and let's look for something that is good about today." And the first thing is, I've greeted you with a smile. And so if you can, in your heart, give me a smile back, that'll be the first step to making this a better day. Now, if you got a grumpy person living with you, especially somebody who's in pain or is sick or has got a lot of self-pity, then you have to deal with that too with a smile. And you have to do special things for yourself. And that is find a neighbor or somebody who can relieve you of taking care of that person so you can get out. And even with the pandemic, you can get out and go for a drive and maybe find a place that has a lake or something. That is such good energy to lift you up so that you can power up your energy so that when you go back to this negative person, they won't drag you down so easily. And that's where you also put up an imaginary shield in front of you, and you ask angels to stand guard around you. You ask them to keep you in a healthy, happy state of mind. And that creates beauty in your home. And so a clean home is very important. And if you haven't done scrubbing the floors or dusting really good or vacuuming, if you haven't done that in a while, do it today. You'd be surprised at how it'll lift your energy and your spirits. You'll feel good. And don't be angry at those people who have the jobs if you've got kids that are supposed to be helping you and they don't. Heaven knows I had 4 teenagers at one time. Can you imagine? 4 teenagers at one time. It was bedlam in our house. And yet at the same time, we always came together for a meal and we always said grace and a blessing over our food. And so that alone brought the energy up. When you can say prayers and share prayers with those people who are with you, the energy increases in your home and that brings beauty in itself. So when we're talking about beauty, we're talking about good, positive, uplifting energy. A smile can do it in an instant. Laughter can do it in an instant. And surprises. So if you go grocery shopping and you decide to buy popsicles for your kids or something that are kind of no-nos, but it's a treat. They're going to get so excited about you've created beauty in your home. So sometimes it's okay to give them things that are all not quite good for them. Now, let me say as a teacher that if you have a child who is overactive, ADHD is called in school, don't use anything that has colored red dye or orange dye in the formula. Look for that because Dr. Feingold a long time ago discovered that this was what aggravated ADHD, made kids hyper. And it was a chemical imbalance in their bodies. So I didn't plan on talking about that. But if you want a happy child, make sure that they don't eat anything like ice cream. That is not good for them either. Look up Dr. Feingold and ADHD on the internet and see what he has to say. He had amazing results with hyperactive kids, and it's still real today. Their diet is extremely important for children who are overactive. And they usually have a really brilliant brain. So it has an advantage and a disadvantage. So to create beauty in your home is sometimes need to create happiness in the home. And again, you can share this 30 days to happiness with your children, with your husband if he's open to it, or your wife if she's open to it. And so this is the 30 days. Let's say it again. I will look around my home and search out and eliminate dirt, dust, and disharmony. I will remove anything that is no longer needed for the comfort and beauty within my home. Oh my, I'm just picking up from Raphael that somebody has decided they had to remove a person from their home. Follow that inspiration in the moment. Sometimes you have to do that to give yourself a break. And then it goes on, I will rearrange my knickknacks, putting away any that clutter up or stop the flow of sweet energy within my home. I will look at the environment surrounding my home and wherever I can increase beauty, such as with plants and flowers, I will do so. I will look at my workspace and increase good energy with clear quartz crystals, fresh or silk flowers, live plants, and happy words. Happy words are something that can change a whole personality in a flash. Now, not by coming and saying, how are you today? I hope you're feeling better. You know, somebody wants to just give you a. So make sure you tune in to how somebody is feeling and show compassion and caring by listening to what they have to say. Now, if that person is saying it all the time about not feeling good and this is bad and that's bad, the energy in the house just goes right down the toilet. But if you can help that person to have beauty by putting beautiful plants in their bedroom, if that's what they're confined to bed, or wherever you are, giving them a flower now and then to raise their energy. Do things that are not expensive, but that are surprisingly compassionate and helpful, that will help to raise their energy. And if they can read, give them a helpful book, a spiritual book that they can read that can lift their energy. When you have a downer of a person with really bad energy, it is very difficult for you. And I know what that was like. I had a husband who was very negative and often cruel with his words and his actions. And it took me a long time to say, enough of this. And I left the relationship. But I say to you, that's a drastic solution. And if it's possible at all to remain in a relationship to function so that you can have the things that you need, and even if you don't get everything you need, if you can be content with it, sometimes in this pandemic, you have to make the hard choice. So we are not saying leave your spouse and go off into the world. No, because this is not the time to do something like that. And yet, on the other hand, we're saying you can go off into another room if you have a spouse that is negative and verbally abusive. Shut the door on him or her. Shut the door and don't listen. And sometimes you have to just go out and get in your car and go for a ride to get away from it. But you will be inspired, dear friends, of what to do if you need to. Now, we're on a live chat. That means that if you are tuning in right now, and we have told you every day at 11 o'clock, we will be doing these 30 days for happiness, and that's Eastern Standard Time at 11 o'clock, so that you can tune in and ask Raphael questions. If it's about your relationship, nobody knows who you are. You don't have to define who you are. You can give us initials if you want to, so I can call you something. Excuse me, on my radio show, which, by the way, is W4WN Radio, and it is a network of podcasts. I got to use some water here. A network of podcasts, and ours is called Ask Raphael, just like this one. And so every Tuesday at noon, we are live on W4WN Radio. And even though you can't ask me a question directly, I will answer the question in the next week. Now, they've had to put a moratorium on, excuse me, a moratorium on the questions because people were bringing in very negative, bad energy. And so they had to shut it down so that we couldn't get it immediately like we did in the past. Excuse me. This may be a shorter view than I thought. Okay, so W4WN Radio every Tuesday at noon. Also, you can email me at angelbettyrae@gmail.com, and that's ANGELBETTYRAE@gmail.com. And I will email you back the answer. I will not do it on air if you do not want me to. But sometimes your question is something that lots of other people are too shy to ask. So don't be too shy to ask Raphael and I a question. I'm simply the interpreter of the archangel's language. Raphael doesn't speak in words more often than not, and yet he can do that. When I channel the archangel, he uses my vocabulary, my language, to be able to speak to you. And so I can do that for you as well. You can come online, or excuse me, you can go to my telephone, which I will give you if you email me, and we will set up a meeting, and you will have my telephone number to call, and we can talk live. And if you desire, Raphael can talk live with you as well. It's a wonderful, uplifting energy. Talk about putting energy in your house. Get a call from Raphael, and you'll find that your energy just blossoms. It lifts you up. Everybody goes away saying, wow, that was amazing. So don't hesitate to get that boost of energy by giving us a call, by going to angelbettyrae@gmail.com, and then you will get my phone number. I don't give it out over the air because I know there are angry people out there, and I don't need to let them have my phone number to interrupt my day. So it's only through email that I will give it out to you privately. And again, it's a wonderful boost of energy, and that's what we're talking about. Create beauty in your home, and that means raising the energy. And so today we say, be happy. Don't worry, be happy, and have a great day.